Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hypno News Live. I'm Jim Kellner, of course, and I'll be joined shortly by our roving reporter, Grant Saunders. If you're out there watching right now, please do drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching the show from. Love to know that. And as you know, each week, Grant Saunders and I, we scour the globe, finding the latest breaking news on hypnosis throughout the world. Hence the name Hypno News Live. That's right. So today, as always, we've got conference talk. We've got hypnosis in the news and research. We've also got your pro tip and a funny story, hopefully. Now, if you are I'm messing things up. We've got I see Benito is watching. Thanks, Benito. Good to see you, my friend. Great hypnotist down in the Phoenix area. Benito, drop your website or socials down there so people can track you down, can follow you. Now, a couple of things real quick. Stick around if you want to get the latest update on the Performing Hypnosis Summit. We've got the video ready. Got the videos ready. That's right. And so we're going to be sharing how you can get those, and we'll be emailing those out to everyone. Welcome to the show, Mr. Grant Saunders.
Hello. How are you?
Beautiful sunny day there in Great Britain, huh?
Yeah, it's lovely sunny Yorkshire. It's like this all the time.
Like that all the time. Wonderful. Yeah. You want to tell the folks at home where you're at?
I'm currently in Koh Samui, Thailand, which is quite a nice location.
Nice
to be coming live for Hypno News.
I love it. And what time is it what time is it over there?
It's just turned 7 a.m. So I've
already
been up for hours.
Of course.
It actually works out that this is a better time for me.
Oh,
so
good.
Rather than it being in the middle of the night, it's
right.
Early in the morning, so that's not too bad.
Right. Well, we can always adjust the time, you know.
Exactly. No, the time is good. So
excellent.
Great location, and probably going to be the home of the Kellner & Saunders Retreat 2024.
Looking forward to that. Fantastic. Grant, we've got a lot of excitement. I was just catching people up on the Performing Hypnosis Summit. We've got another live video right after the news today, talking about the videos and that experience. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still buzzing from that as an event. It was epic.
Really, epic is the right word for it. I mean, I've had so many people. It's just so many great comments about it, and people are, anxiously wanting to get a look at the videos. So I'm glad we're getting those out soon. Now I've got to try to find. Let's see here. I don't want to open up the wrong tab here, do we? Oh, my goodness. So we did some research and we found out. So those of you who are familiar with Richard Nongard, great guy, he's got a video right there. Let's see. I'm not going to watch. Richard Nongard has taken off a lot of weight with the keto diet. Grant, did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's looking really dapper. I mean, not that he didn't look dapper before, but
do you know what? It's one of those things. I mean, I especially with weight loss, especially in this industry, sometimes you're not aware of it. It happens gradually in little bits at a time, and then sometimes you go, oh, you don't realize you put it on. I remember when I was young, I struggled to put weight on. And I remember going to my doctors a couple of years ago when I was probably at my biggest and not realizing that. And it's going, oh, Grant, the last time I saw you said you were struggling to put weight on. You went, you'll be pleased to know you've cured yourself. So then you kind of go, oh, do you know what? Yeah. So what is the keto diet?
That's where you eat, you cut out the carbs and eat more fat.
I like the sound of that one.
Yeah, right. Except no Yorkshire pudding. So.
Oh no, it's a no for me then.
And no chips. So look here. So we've got so we're here on the Mid America conference now. This used to be, I think this used to be Karen Hand's conference, and now Richard Nongard is running that. It looks like Dan Candell is the keynote speaker.
Nice. Dan's doing some great stuff with anxiety at the moment. It is really, really brilliant.
And you know what I like too, and it seems like everybody's talking about anxiety now, but he really got in there, and that's all he talks about. He doesn't talk about helping you quit smoking and losing. That's all he talks about. He's very much on message.
Yeah, and kind of a weird thing about it, and it makes it sound very shallow, but it's not. His branding is just on point.
Yeah.
There's so many people that do some great work, but that great work that they do, they present it in a way that just looks the same as everybody else. Dan Candell's stuff is just on brand. You see his stuff, it's his. It is brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. And so they're actually taking. It's in October. They're taking speaker applications for about the next week, apparently.
Nice. Like now is the time to get involved in this. There's so many great conferences coming up, especially this year. But now's the time to really kind of, if you're wanting to get yourself out there, to ramp that up and get those applications in, I think.
Totally agree, 100%. And the next one that is coming up, the next in-person one that I know of, anyway, is, of course, the Heartland Hypnosis Conference. Now, I believe we talked about this last week, but they actually just posted the schedule, and I don't think it was posted before. Not sure.
And again, great conference, great people, great networking. And it's just a really nice size. It's not a big beast where it can be overwhelming. It's a great size as well. That's good numbers, good people, and you get a chance to get like face to face with some real icons in the industry, like Jim Kellner.
Exactly, and really icons that you don't normally get to hang out with because they're at the busier conferences. I did pull up so both Grant and I are speaking. We're doing individual talks, hour-long talks or whatever. What we're also doing, I'm really excited about this, Level Up Your Mindset for Success as a post-conference offering. Grant, tell the kids at home about it.
Well, do you know what? It's about it's learning from the stuff that we've done, the mistakes that we've made, and the things that we've found to help you become quote-unquote successful in this industry. And I think a lot of those principles apply to any industry, no matter what you do. But more specifically, cutting out all the fluff and the BS of the stuff that overcomplicates it. Like when you start talking about social media, it gets overcomplicated. When you start talking about presentations, it can get overcomplicated. This workshop is going to be about the stuff that we found that's helped us level up our businesses, helped us become more visible, and help us, put more bread on the table, so they say.
More bread on the table. And you know what? I don't normally share pages on here, so I think I was doing it wrong, everybody. So if you, I was probably anyway. Let's go back over here. You know what, Grant? Such a great point. And so this is not. We're not teaching you any hypnosis techniques. We're not teaching you inductions. We assume you've already learned that. Yeah. And what we're going to do is we are going to do all the other stuff, that you don't think about. And like Grant said, the stuff that we've done, and I got to be honest, some of it I didn't even know what to do at the time. Looking back, I go, oh, I did. That's what I did. That's how I got here. That's interesting.
The amount of times that I've learned something because you see some YouTubers say this is how you do this, and you put your time and effort in it, which is so important, into it, and at the end of it you kind of go, oh no, that was just a way of just helping me part with my money. It's not relevant. It doesn't work for me, or the time involved in it doesn't work for me. So it's finding those things and learning from those are the things that we found that has really helped grow our client base, our businesses, our bookings.
Yeah, and it's not theory. It's all stuff that like we're talking about. We do this stuff. We have done this stuff, and that's how we became world renowned as we are now. So folks at home, Grant usually does this stuff. He does the thing where he's clicking back and forth on all this stuff, and I got to tell you, it's a bit of a learning curve for me. Hold on tight, everybody. It's I'm just getting used to it right now. We had a producer, damn it.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler with B.Live.
I didn't realize that.
Product placement there.
Yeah, that's right. You got to put that in there. You're required to say that, right?
Yeah. I think they're going to make me wear a T-shirt soon.
So the other conference that I wanted to, because they literally just put it. Oh, and we've got a lot of comments over here. Got Sean. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Speaking of producers, there's Sean right there. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes. So another schedule just came out. I have a lot more respect for what you do, Grant, now, because it's you don't just stand up there looking pretty. So I got to tap that. I got to share the screen. I got to
multitasking.
Right.
On a slightly different note, I saw your post yesterday about my obsession with novelty Crocs.
Crocs,
which was quite interesting because literally at that time I was in a night market here that's filled with novelty Crocs. So, but I don't think any of them are genuine because you can get novelty Crocs or Christian Dior handbags. That's interesting and so cheap.
Exactly. Yeah. She's somebody was concerned about the fact that she was buying all these Crocs. I said, no, they're knockoffs. They're from Vietnam. They're like $10.
I must admit, I've booked into a tailor's in Vietnam, and literally, the suits are for nothing. So I'm having to stop myself from just getting all of the suits.
That was on my agenda too. And actually, we should let everybody know. So Grant is actually out there scouting the new location because we were going to go out there. We were going to do a retreat. Some of you may have heard about it, but then when we got offered some opportunities here to do conference stuff, we said, you know what, let's focus our attention on doing these conferences, teaching a lot of the similar stuff, and then push the retreat off. So Grant's actually doing some research on new locations, actually.
Yeah. This is work.
This is work. That's right.
This is work. Yeah, there we go. Right on the beach. Do you know what? That's one of the amazing things about the time we live in now, though, especially with live streaming being what it is and video conferencing being what it is. That especially with most hypnotherapists working online on Zoom now. Yeah. You can work anywhere in the world as long as you can get your time zones right. You can work anywhere in the world. So, it's a great thing.
And really, Grant actually talks about live streaming at these conferences. So check out his live streaming class. He's also got a group where he talks about live streaming for hypnotherapists. You can actually make some money. Grant is probably making money while he's there right now.
Yes.
Yes. Good deal.
It was one of the things I wanted to test whilst I was out here. Was literally, can you go live? Can you earn money going live whilst sat on the beach in a tropical island? And the answer is yes. And it's whenever somebody says to me about laptop lifestyle, I always kind of go, that's a con. I'm not interested. But I think the way that it's traditionally sold to you can be, but using your time wisely, I think it really is a great way of earning money whilst you're on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the setup yesterday. He was out on the beach. He had the camera set up and looked like the microphone and everything. And good stuff. Good stuff. Sean offered to jump in there. I think we're almost done with that part, Sean, but thank you. I didn't realize I'd have so much trouble. I would have talked to you. Sean, the awesome producer, hypnotist from the Performing Hypnosis Summit. Fantastic. One more site to share, if I can get it to share, the Michigan Hypnosis Conference. Now, the Michigan Hypnosis Conference happening in August, right? Yeah, August. And
August, 22nd to 25th, I think.
Yes.
And that is looking great. Second year. And just, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed myself there last time. In fact, I think we spent most of our time laughing like children. And if you can have that much fun whilst learning and networking with your peers, then that's everything it needs to be.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. And, made a lot of really great connections. Met Michael Brody, fantastic guy.
Oh, what a guy.
Shelley Stockwell. I mean, Linda Thurnberg. I mean, just so many. Amanda. I mean, people hadn't seen other conferences, so it was great. You know, people think, oh, well, if you go to one conference, you've seen everybody. You haven't. Even when you go to the big one, when you go to Hypno Thoughts, there's people that don't go to Hypno Thoughts, so you got to go other ones. Guys, we are actually at Michigan. We are teaching Grant and I, intro to stage hypnosis. I'm excited.
Yeah, I really am actually. It's been my passion for a long time now. And I talk about the live stream and stuff and that. But you know what? It's nice to give away some of those skill sets. Here in the UK, I run a course with Christopher Caress a couple of times a year, which is it's always great to see, especially hypnotherapists, gain that confidence that comes from doing the stage stuff.
Yeah, it's such a. I've even had clients that will come to me and say, "Hey, can you do that stage kind of stuff that you do instead of the regular? You're getting sleepy. That's right." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And hey, if they think it's going to be better for them, it's going to give them a better experience. So why not?
Yeah, and it's surprising sometimes when people can ask you about stuff like that. I remember I was at my dentist a couple of years ago, and his wife's a psychotherapist, and it was like, "Oh, can you do that? Can you do that thing where you stick someone's hand to the table?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, wait, once you've got your hand out of my mouth, then So having the confidence to kind of hypnotize people anytime, anywhere, and now the difference between the stage stuff and like the street stuff is that there is elements of stagecraft, of how you present yourself, how you project your voice, all of those little techniques that are the difference, that make the difference. But that also spills over into the hypnotherapy room. How do you set your stage up? What's the lighting like? What's the temperature like? All of these different tiny things that together make such a massive difference on the effectiveness of the hypnosis and the effectiveness of the therapy as well. And it's great for marketing.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, one of the best ways to get new business is to level up really your prestige is to go out there and start doing talks. And so you learn how to, you learn how to do stage hypnosis. You don't have to do stage hypnosis. You can apply it to just doing the stage like Anthony Gailey does, corporate talks, things like that.
Exactly. And that's the thing that you need to do in order to really, have that referral base of people recommending you to more and more people. If you're just seeing clients one-to-one, that for you to get to that level of recommendation, you've got to be working a long time before you get that. Whereas if you're doing one-to-many, you've got, rather than one person going away saying how brilliant you are, you've got 100 people going away saying how brilliant you are. So, that becomes, it takes on its own momentum.
It does. Absolutely. So I gotta just warn everybody now, and maybe Grant, you can tell me. I'm sort of starting to get lost as to what we've already covered. So when it comes to Hypno News, not today, but I mean, like over the past few weeks, 6 months, I guess now. Yeah. So if we talked about this before, if we've talked about this before, I apologize. Do you remember, Grant? Did we talk about this article in the New York Times?
Which one is it?
I'll pull it up here in just a second. Actually, I don't even know if you can see it when it's up. What can hypnosis do for your health?
I think that's a new one.
I like this. I like this to a certain extent. One of the things that it kind of gives you kind of the history, the background, and stuff. One of the doctors they talked to were kind of talking about how it should be done by a psychologist, and you need all these. You should be doing it with cognitive behavioral therapy and all this stuff. And, that's fine. And I think that's great. There are certainly psychologists that do it. But when you're talking about that, you're usually talking about psychologists are doing maybe how many hypnosis sessions you think they're doing. They've got a whole lot of tools. We mostly have the one tool. So we're using it a lot. So we've got a lot more experience, doing these kind of things. So I think it makes sense to, maybe see a psychologist, but also see a hypnotherapist.
And I think, and this is just my opinion, the problem with psychologists using hypnotherapy or hypnosis in therapy is, they spent a lot of time at college, university, specialist courses, and a lot of money learning the psychology side of stuff. That they believe that there's all of these, choices of tools to use. Hypnosis is a tiny part of that. And probably the money that they spent in learning hypnosis is a fraction of the amount they've spent on the psychology. So they have a bias. They have a bias towards the thing that's cost them $50,000 or $100,000 versus the thing that, let's be honest, you can learn hypnotherapy for, a couple of $1,000s now. So in their mind, that's obviously got to be more effective than the cheaper option. But the reality is most hypnotherapists are doing this day in, day out. They're a very well polished stone when it comes to that type of thing. So are a lot more effective at it.
I think so. Yeah. The one thing that I did, and also, I mean, frankly, when you go get CBT and those kind of things, and they work great, you're probably going for, CBT, a round of treatment is probably going to go at least 6 months or a year. Yeah. You might be able to just fix the stuff. We know we can probably fix a lot of these things in like 3 to 4 sessions, maybe 6 sessions. Yeah. So it's a lot more efficient anyway. One thing that I did like about it was they did mention in the article that the one of the doctors was kind of likening it to some people are just kind of naturally seem to be born, able to experience, maybe deeper levels of hypnosis, or maybe just get results a little bit quicker. But everybody can pick up an instrument. Everyone, can pick up a kazoo or a flute or guitar and play something, or at least appreciate music. And that's what I think the way hypnosis is. You get better at it the more you practice.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. It's the same with anything.
Yeah. So, and I've seen this. I've worked with clients who, takes, maybe a couple of sessions, and then all of a sudden they go, wow, now I'm really starting to notice it. Also, part of it's just being able to let go and be comfortable around the practitioner.
Yeah. I saw a great video from Mike Mandel describing it. And it's like somebody going up to you and saying, oh, I can't go into hypnosis. I can't be hypnotized. And it's like, that's just like a person sat down on the sofa saying, I can't stand up. There's nothing you can do to make me stand up. And I thought that was a really good analogy of that person that, if they don't want to, if they almost want to prove that they can't, then, you have got more of a challenge on your hands. But like I said, with repetition, multiple sessions, they can really find those deeper levels that they go to.
Yeah. So don't be even if they're not having great experience, deep, profound experiences the first couple times. Don't sweat it. Just keep going. Grant, would you rather do a pro tip or funny stuff today?
I'll do pro tip.
Okay.
There's no pressure to be funny then. Pro tip. Again, I think we talked all about the importance of being prepared, but having the right tools for the job, and minimizing that. Like literally, I have been able to do most of my work this week from just a laptop, a camera. I've minimized my live streaming kit, but still managed to fit it all in my hand luggage, and still been able to manage to travel to the other side of the world. Still see clients, still do live streams, still do Zoom meetings, still do everything else. So look at what tools you need to run your business. Look at what tools you can streamline that with. And again, the tripod that I use for my camera is a travel size one. So it's slightly smaller, but when extended, still feels the normal size. The end user doesn't know the difference. And I'm a bit of a gearhead, so I always like to have the most expensive and the best of everything. But the reality is getting the right tools that you can use to travel with enables you to do everything you need to do wherever you need to do it. So look at, and that's not just for live streaming, look at all the processes you have in your business. What does it take you to run your business, and how can you streamline that as efficiently as possible? What tools do you need, both physical and software-wise, in order for you to do your job, and streamline that as much as possible? It's going to save you time and money. And every dollar saved in doing your job is effectively $1 earned. So that's my pro tip.
I wonder, this week, are you doing any special episodes on like travel equipment?
Do you know what? I was going to do that, but the case that I was wanting to do that on, I didn't bring with me. But yes, I am going to be doing a live stream specifically on Amazon products that I use whilst doing this as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which again, it's for me, it's silly. It's using what I've already got and then just repurposing it and reprocessing it in order to generate revenue whilst on holiday.
And if you want to find out, you can go just if you Google Amazon Live Grant Saunders, you'll find Grant's page where you can find out all the different equipment that he uses. He's very transparent about all of it. He wants you to buy it. He does. There's a vested interest in you buying it. So,
absolutely. GrantSaunders.live.
.live.
But it's literally talking about the tools that I use, and yes, Amazon very kindly give me a bit of a commission from that, which is quite nice.
So you really could be doing this, people. You could be, take Grant's classes, go find out how he's doing this, start living the dream.
Yeah.
All right. So funny story. So I was doing a show, and I don't even know if this is even that funny, but it was kind of in retrospect. It's kind of funny, kind of scary. Which one is it? So I was doing a show, and it was at a comedy club, and they've got this really small stage, and it's a huge place too. I mean, it holds probably 200 or 300 people, but they have this tiny little stage because, of course, it's set up for comedians, and they don't need much space, right? So I'm up there, and it's about a 4-foot tall stage. So you're standing 4 feet above the ground floor where the audience is. So it's a little bit scary, but so every time I do a show, it's always so don't step this don't step past this line or something, no matter how deeply in hypnosis you go, whatever. And I'm doing the show, and we're kind of at the end of the show. They're going to do the dancing routine, and I have them get up, and they start dancing. And kind of in slow motion in my mind, I see this guy step off of the stage onto one of these round cocktail tables, which is down on the floor. And it was like he had planned it. It was like he had planned it. He steps on the thing, and I'm getting ready to jump for him to try to save him, and swirls a bit and jumps right back onto the stage. And it was incredible. And if you saw this guy, you'd go, no, he's not a gymnast. He's not a dancer. Certainly not. But in that moment, it was kind of funny, kind of scary, maybe a little bit of a pro tip. And it's amazing. And the audience went wild. They thought it was amazing. So
yeah,
there you go.
There's something about those moments. This is, afterwards you can laugh about it. But there's also like a teachable moment in that way. You're kind of like, oh wow. And like you said, sometimes you can put in all the safety measures you want, but in their mind, if that's what they want to do, that's sometimes that's what they're going to do. I had a lady jump off one of my stages once, but again, landed perfectly, and I'm like, So now it's like a double down and double down and double down on that, because once it's happened, and this is one of the things with the stage training. Once it happens to you, you go, that's why you say that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's also maybe why you don't do certain venues, because like I haven't been back to that venue just because it's a great venue to perform in, but I don't like the pressure. So such a high stage, so small. But also just choosing the right skits. Maybe you don't do the dancing routine at that particular venue. So maybe I'll go back. Guys, we got to run. We're going over to the Performing Hypnosis Summit group to talk about the recordings, and we will hopefully see you over there. Take care.
Cool.